Hello everyone, welcome back to the new lecture. So in this lecture, we have to understand the psychrometric chart. So let's start. Now we'll discuss the next topic, the key terms on the psychrometric chart. So understanding these key terms on the psychrometric chart is essential for analyzing air condition and designing effective HVAC system. So here we'll show you the detailed explanation of important terms like dry bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature, relative humidities, okay, etc. So let's start. So here the first one is the dry bulb temperature, as I told you. Then second, wet bulb temperature, which is represent as WBT. Then relative humidity. Then we'll discuss about the specific humidity, enthalpy, and then finally we'll discuss the specific volume. Now let's see the terms, each and every terms in detail, one by one. So the first term which I have shown you on the psychrometric chart is dry bulb temperature. So what is actually dry bulb temperature and how to represent this dry bulb temperature on the psychrometric chart, that all will explain you first. See, dry bulb temperature is the temperature of air measured by a standard thermometer without accounting for moisture in the air. Okay. So here you have to remember one point. The dry bulb temperature is a fundamental parameter in HVAC system as it represents the sensible heat in the air, and it is used to determine heating or cooling needs without considering humidity. Now let's see the representation on the psychrometric chart, how to represent the dry bulb temperature on psychrometric chart. So it is given, and here the chart is also there. It is plotted again along the horizontal axis. Line of constant dBT run vertical up and down the chart. Can you see? In this chart, when you see in the psychrometric chart, this vertical line represent as a dry bulb temperature like 20, 50 degree Fahrenheit or degree Celsius. Okay, so this vertical line is represent as a dry bulb temperature. Okay. Now the second terms is the wet bulb temperature. What is this? See, wet bulb temperature is the temperature measured by a thermometer with a moist cloth over its bulb, accounting for evaporation and moisture in the air. So here the main importance of wet bulb temperature is what? Remember, this WBT is critical for determining evaporative cooling potential. The smaller the difference between dBT and WBT, the higher the moisture content, indicating that the air is closer to the saturation. Okay. Now we'll show you the representation of wet bulb temperature on psychrometric chart. So it is given, see, wet bulb temperature is shown as diagonal line sloping downward to the right on the chart. Can you see? In the psychrometric chart, this diagonal line represent as a wet bulb temperature. Okay, so don't be confused. Now the third is the relative humidity. See, what is this? The ratio of the current amount of moisture in the air to the maximum amount it can hold at a given temperature, that is called as a relative humidity, and it is expressed in percentage. Okay, so relative humidity is critical for determining comfort levels and the likelihood of condensation. Air with high relative humidity feel more humid and has less capacity to absorb moisture, while low relative humidity indicates drier air. Okay, simple. So now the curved line across the chart represent relative humidity. Can you see? In psychrometric chart, this curved line is represent as a relative humidity. Okay, and it is expressed in percentage. See, 80% or 45, whatever. This curved line is represent as a relative humidity. Okay. Now the next term is the humidity ratio. What is this? See, Humidity ratio, also called as a specific humidity, it is the mass of water vapor present in a given mass of dry air. Okay, so this humidity ratio quantifies the actual amount of moisture in the air, making it a key factor in dehumidification and air treatment processes. See, in the psychrometric chart, it is represented on the vertical axis to the right of the chart. Can you see? Means in the psychrometric chart, this horizontal line is represented as a humidity ratio or a specific humidity. Clear? Now the next term is enthalpy. So what is this? See, enthalpy is what? The total heat content of the air, both sensible and latent heat, that is called as a enthalpy. It is usually shown as diagonal line sloping upward across the chart. Can you see? Sloping upward on the chart. Okay. So this line increase as both the temperature and moisture content increase. So remember, the enthalpy is crucial for energy calculation in HVAC system. So it helps estimate the total energy required to cool or heat air, accounting for both the temperature and moisture. Okay. Now the next one is the specific volume. What is this? See, a specific volume is the volume occupied by a unit mass of dry air, and it is expressed in cubic meter per kilogram or cubic feet per pound. Okay. So a specific volume is important for sizing ductwork and air handling unit in HVAC system. So here you can see the specific volume is shown as slightly sloped diagonal line on the chart, sloping upward to the right. Can you see this diagonal line represent as a specific volume? Okay. So now we'll take one question so you will get the idea. Suppose here it is given, dry bulb temperature is given, let's say, okay, 20 for your location is 25 degrees Celsius, and the wet bulb temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Now, if any two properties of air, if you know any two properties of air, so you can easily calculate the remaining all other properties by using this psychrometric chart. Okay. For example, here we know that the dry bulb temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and the wet bulb is 20. Now, we need to calculate the relative humidity, dew point temperature, specific volume, humidity ratio, enthalpy. So see, this is your psychrometric chart. Once, as I told you in the psychrometric chart, first you have to see the vertical line is represent as a dry bulb temperature. So where is your temperature? Suppose let's say near about 25 degrees Celsius is coming here. So this line. Then you have to see the wet bulb. I have told you in the psychrometric chart, wet bulb is what? The diagonal line, this diagonal line represent as a wet bulb temperature. You have to see where it is 20 degree. See, both the dry bulb and wet bulb are intersecting in this point. Now from this point only you have to see this curved line is represent as a relative humidity 63%. Okay, even this horizontal line represent as the humidity ratio value. Okay, so these all remaining all other property you will get from the psychrometric chart. Even we have a psychrometric software also, that also we'll discuss. Okay, how to find out the properties of air in psychrometric with the help of psychrometric software, that also we'll discuss. Okay. So this is all about the key terms on the psychrometric chart.